You're listening to the Red Book Show on Wexford New People's Movement Radio. We have messages coming in. Keep them coming, please. And remember, we're going to be joined by Phil Hughes, author of over 30 books, publisher and screenwriter in a past life, I believe, Phil, as well.
No, not a screenwriter. I was a usability expert in software development.
Yes.
So I use storybooks to develop the software.
Great. Well, we look forward to hearing from you for that. Now, we have a text message in from Liam, who wanted to tell us that Jeff Bezos has contributed billions to charities. I haven't seen any of it, Liam, but get me the receipts. And we have a message in from Rory. What do we say when we hear them reenact Star Trek? Just text in, Rory. That's all you have to do. Just text in that so we know you're listening. Now it's time for another edition of Dr. Huennekes Almanac.
Yep, I will have a Dr. Huennekes Almanac edition this week. It's going to be basically in honor of Otherworlds, but not so much what Otherworlds is as what it represents to Wexford Town and all of us. So this poem I'm going to read is out of the Peace Weavers book. I've got other works in here myself, but I'm reading a poem by a Polish poet named Eliza Saget, and I'll talk a little more about what I see in it afterwards. Word and deed. He who has the gift of seeing a possible evil future acts. He gives his voice to the reason of the people of the world and knows that the atomic bomb brings death. He who takes the Hippocratic oath heals, but also knows that for individuals and nations the most important is not only health, but also peace. He who is able to cement the wisdom of words with deeds does not need to take oaths to prevent the collapse of reality. Now, I just love the ending of that poem about the collapse of reality, because I feel like that's what we're facing right now as a society, not just in Wexford, but everywhere. And what Otherworlds Festival means to me is people just getting out of, our real world kind of dystopia to try to do something that no one has done before and bravely act despite the odds. That's the spirit of Otherworlds. And I think this can be really good for Wexford Town. I'm looking forward to it so much. I've got 3 haikus I'm going to read to finish Dr. Huennekes Almanac, but I'm going to sort of talk about a couple of them and what they mean. The first one is haiku for patience and patience. These are from war stories. Chronic diseases, growing in relationships, making gardens bloom. Now, you're probably not familiar with a writer named Ernesto Ciroli, but he talks about development as like the unhusking of a seed or the breaking of an eggshell, so that the seed necessarily must die in order for further life to emerge. The word develop actually means to de-envelope, to get out of what's sealing us in. And I think right now, walking up and down Main Street, I think a lot of people are just in the digital world so deeply, the social media so deeply, they're nearly sealed in. So it'd be really nice to get out into various sort of third spaces, venues, sit around with other people in the real world and share an experience together. Now, the next haiku I'm going to read is one very special to me, because I went to see a film, sort of like, I forget, was it 20-year anniversary, 30-year anniversary? I don't know, I mentioned 20-year anniversary or something. Maybe it was even the 10-year anniversary. But anyway, the film was Lawrence of Arabia, and I went with my dad and we watched it. And I was very, very taken by a scene in Lawrence of Arabia where there were 2 brothers, and there was the character of Lawrence of Arabia played by Peter O'Toole, and also his friend, sort of partner in whatever adventures they were doing, played by Omar Sharif. Anyway, they went through a terrible sandstorm, and one of the brothers fell off his camel, and they realized he was gone. And of course, the other brother was just inconsolable. He was crying and moaning. and Omar Sharif's character goes, "It is written, it is written." You know, he's gone. In other words, don't try to find him. And Lawrence of Arabia, played by Peter O'Toole, said, "I'm going back to try to save him." And it was an impossible mission to go into the sandstorm to find this guy. And everybody thought he was also going to go. It's like swimming after somebody in a riptide. You're going to drown too. Anyway, a couple of minutes later, Peter O'Toole comes back with the other brother, and he has saved him. And the brothers are rejoicing together. And he moved up his camel right next to the Omar Sharif character, and he goes, "Nothing is written." And I just love that scene. So this is a haiku about that. "Fate, not fate. Nothing's written," said Lawrence of Arabia. "We need to listen." Now the last poem I'm going to read is simply self-explanatory. It's called No Cookbook. This situation requires improvisation before it improves. And again, I think that's the spirit of Other Worlds. So that concludes Dr. Huennekes Almanac.
Well, thank you, Dr. Huenneke. And I think you're going to give us some crack karaoke now, are you?
Boy, you got me going double feature here.
I got double feature.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
and actually double feature is the theme, because regular listeners will realize I didn't really do crack karaoke last week. So I'm going to do a double feature. And let me get my device out here, because I'm just going to basically do the same trick I've done before. So bear with me a minute. Okay, so the first song I'm going to do is, I don't know if you're aware of this, but when Bob Dylan did his album Self Portrait, not a big seller, he actually did some cover songs like The Boxer and also another song called Early Morning Rain by Gordon Lightfoot. So this is going to be his version that was an outtake from Self Portrait in 1970. It's a Ray Stevens song. It's called Everything is Beautiful. Oh my gosh, I may have a problem here, you guys, because I don't think I've got I may have lost the internet. Hold on. I'm not giving it up yet. So
You want me to hum it?
Oh, here it is. Okay, it's here. Everything beautiful in its own way. Under God's night, snow-covered winter's day. It's beautiful in their own way. Heaven, the world's gonna find a way. There's none so blind as he who will not see. We must not close our minds, must let our souls be free. A little bit older. Jesus is of the beholder. Everything is beautiful in its own way. A starry summer night, snow-covered winter's day. Everything is beautiful in its own way. Like starry summer night, snow-covered wind, the world's gonna find a way. About the face of his hair or the color of his skin. Well, what lies within, the beauty that lies within. straighten out your mind. It is beautiful in its own way, like the starry summer night, snow-covered winter's day. Everything is beautiful in its own way. Starry summer night, gonna find a way. Time, everything is beautiful in its own way. Now,
Wow.
I've got to confess something here. This didn't go according to plan. There was a technological failure. So normally I do karaoke because I could look at the words, and when I'm a bit nervous, I start to forget them. Right. That part of the program wasn't showing, so I was trying to sing the song from memory. I don't think it completely went that well.
No.
Yeah.
No. Well, I think you're wrong because we have a beautiful text message in there from Rory, and he says, Steve, will you sing at my funeral?
My singing may cause his funeral, but
Possibly. There could be logistical problems there.
Okay, here's a serious point I want to make. This song, I think it could be a big hit for somebody in Wexford, like a local musician. It could go nationwide. Here's the reason. This is important for me to say, is that this song is so optimistic it sounds deranged, right? It's just deranged. But what it speaks of is a vision or a dream to try to realize for our times. Instead of thinking everything is ugly and people are bad and hating them like social media often wants us to do, it's saying no, it's fighting back from that. So I think somebody who could actually really sing that song could take that on. Now, I got to tell you that I don't know if I can. I promise a double feature, but I don't know if I'm going to pull it off unless I've got technology. So let me check on this real quick. Oh my gosh, I think what I'd really prefer to do. I know I'm disappointing people, but I would rather not read off.
Yeah.
I'd rather have like a karaoke kind of setup before I even do the song.
Well, maybe next week.
So I will save that one for next week.
Yeah. No, well, thanks for that, Steve, as always.
Yeah.
And thanks for Dr. Huennekes Almanac. So we have a number of messages coming in. We might save them for when Phil joins us after the break. You are listening to the Red Book Show on Wexford New People's Movement Radio. When we come back after the break, we're going to discuss the schedule for Other Worlds to tell you exactly what's going to be happening in the town. And we're also going to be joined by our special guest, Phil Hughes. And there may be some Star Trek inspired moments as well. Before that, we're going to have a song. And this is from Tommy Matney. And it's Who's the Winner?